I got this beautiful Mate Beach Pier fishing cart for an awesome deal. And by awesome deal, I mean someone threw it in the dumpster and I got it. I'm super pumped about it, but obviously I have an issue. There's no wheels. So I ran a couple options. I know some people use, I mean, they obviously make wheels for these carts. There's, rubber replacements, plastic replacements. There's the balloon tires for beach sand use. Um, I didn't really like a lot of them. I only found one option in the used market, and about as quick as I found it, it already sold. So some of the other options I found, I, they just seemed okay. It would be like $60 to $80 for a kind of small beach tire to go on here, and anyone talks about is, oh, they're not very durable and you can't use them on asphalt and this that, or pavement, whatever, um, concrete. And half of the places I go fishing either have cobblestone, asphalt, wood, and concrete. It could be the boardwalk, it could be the parking lot, it could be the local pier. So I need something a little more durable. Flip over to the durable side and it would be like $80 per tire. So 160 bucks on a free cart. I may as well have just went and bought a bigger, better cart, right? So for this, I came up with a good solution. It took a little bit of work to get them on here, but let me set it up and we'll take a look at it. Now, when I say dumpster, I don't mean it was in the dumpster. It was right outside of it, okay? So it's not, it's not all nasty. So I brought it in, threw it up on my lift here in my workshop, and then ran to two places. I spent a total of $25, and you can do this cheaper, and I'll show you. I got 4 of the little Harbor Freight wheels. So these are a 410 350-4 4-inch rim. It's a 10-inch overall size, and it has a 5/8 hub here. Now these are 5/8 axles, but these were powder coated, and this did not fit when the powder coating was on there, so I did have to remove it. So keep that in mind. There might be a little bit of elbow work to get these done. But the other thing that's blocking your camera view is our wheel spacers. And this is, I don't know if I'll be able to show it on here, but this is just PEX B from, I got this at Lowe's in a 5-foot stick for less than $5. I don't know if I said these wheels right now at least are under $5 each as well. So $20 worth of wheels, less than $5 worth of PEX for some spacers, which I did cut down already. I had to decide on a length because you notice I have 4 wheels and only 2 spots to put them because, yep, I'm doing dualies. So let me assemble it real quick and we'll take a look at it. Look at that dually. All right, I just did one side because I want to point out a couple things. So on mine, I have a welded flange on the inside. I just butted this wheel up to it, as you can see. You don't really need a washer or anything back there. The bearing surface kind of sticks out and it acts as its own little deal. But in between, you can see I used an 1.5-inch piece of PEX. And then on the outer side, another 1/2-inch piece. And then these are just some basic old washers that actually were on the axle when I picked it up, and it came with this split ring. You could swap that out for whatever you want, better way to secure it, whatever. In fact, I wonder if I'm ever gonna snag, cause an issue there. I guess we'll find out. So just a little 1/2-inch spacer here, because when you put these Harbor Freight wheels together, you notice the hub is kind of offset. Like you have it, it's indented here and it sticks out here. But when you put them together, they're rubber to rubber. That hub actually doesn't touch. It's not metal to metal. You can see, I haven't taken any measurement, but it's probably about, well, I don't know, inch and a half maybe, before it touches face to face. So I didn't want, just like a dually pickup truck, right? I didn't want rubber on rubber. So I chose a random spacing. You can make those dimensions whatever you want based on your axle. So I put a random spacing in between there, happened to be inch and a half to space the wheels apart. And then to take up the last little bit of slack before the hole here where I put my ring on, just another 1/2 inch spacer. And you can see it's gonna work just fine. I mean, they're both independent of each other. They can spin however they need to. And look at that, you see it already caught there? So I'm gonna have to swap my ring out for something a little more practical, maybe just a cotter pin. But that wheel actually, look at that. Yep. So swap yours for a cotter pin. I'm gonna throw on the other side and wheel it around. I do have one other thing. Because these are just 10-inch wheels, my front foot is gonna be too long. So I'm gonna have to drill a new hole somewhere down here. I'll just do that off camera, but I did wanna note it that in order to set your cart level, it goes inside here. In order to set your cart level, whenever you let go of the handle, you may need to drill a hole. So no big deal. I'll just get that knocked out and put it on there so that way the cart sits level when I'm done with it, not using it. And we'll take a look at how the badass dually is. I didn't say, but I chose dually. So in order to save money, let's put it this way, because I did mention that. To save money, you could totally just go with one wheel, right? Now, you might end up with too long of an axle. You could drill another hole down in there and put your snap ring up closer. You could cut your axle shorter. You could just put a larger spacer. The whole rest of this could be spacer, or you could put the spacer behind it and have your wheel on the outer edge. I chose dually because in the same thought process of a balloon beach tire, there's more surface area. It spreads the load. It doesn't cut into the sand as much. Hopefully, in theory, we'll test it out. We'll see how it looks, but it will float across the top of the sand with more surface area versus just one where it might just, dig in. Yep, just like I thought. That keeps catching, so get that figured out. But all right, let's put on the other side, drill that, set it up, and I think we're done for $25. That's it. Simple. It seems like it's gonna work really well. The spacers came out nice. They maneuvered just fine. I mean, it'll go in a full circle, whatever you need it to do. Love it. I like the look. You might be talking about the width or something, well, that's too wide. I can't fit that in the back of my SUV. Your axle is already that wide. So unless you're cutting your axle down, you may as well use the full axle. So that's why I went dualies besides the, sand explanation I gave earlier. But hey, for a free cart and $25 worth of wheels, I'm ready to get back out there. Thanks for watching.